What is going on, SHIPIT Nation YouTube station? We're back, Friday edition. I got my guy Ham with me. Bring you in right away, Ham. What's going on? Happy Friday, brother. How are you doing?
Yeah, happy Friday. Another week in the books. Got 12 gamer tonight to talk about. We got the fathers in course tonight, going to be extremely popular. I know there's another offense you liked a little bit better than them, so looking forward to breaking it all down, talking through these 24 pitchers, 24 offenses, try to find us some winners tonight.
Yeah, looking forward to this slate, 12 games. Not one that we really have to worry about weather-wise, so that's always fun. Not having to worry about that kind of oddball weather, accident games, etc. out there. I mean, there's one spot where it's not great, but everything should play. Everything should be good. We got a Coors Field on the slate. We got Kauffman Stadium on the slate. We got A's short porch on the slate. We got the Rays short porch on the slate. Really good weather across the country for hitting-wise and pitching. Pretty interesting way to go in general here, but we'll do our best to break it down. Warren Tyler in the chat, Michael Peterson, Go Collect, Stoner, Jacob Stubbs, Gangrene, Joey, Philly Phantom, everybody out there in the chat. Appreciate everyone tuning in. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Helps us out a ton. And if you want to join the best movement, the best industry in the best nation community in the industry, I should say, head over, shipitnation.com, DGen75. Use that promo code. $75 off your first month. Got the major golf tournament next week coming up here. And we got one of the best golf teams in the industry. Incredible golf season so far going on. MLB's been continuing to just absolutely be smashing. We had our guy in the Discord yesterday, $15 into 25K, single bullet shipper. In the Discord yesterday for the MLB slate. So you love to see that on that early slate yesterday, a little 4-game slate, 15 to 25 grand. Hey, pretty sure anybody out there would be interested in that. So head over there, DGen75. We got the slate plan. We got our partner SaberSim. You get access to everything for just $24. Check us out, join the community, and win with us. Ham, I'll throw it over to you, man. 12-game slate, broad slate overview before I kind of pull up SaberSim here, our partner, and look at kind of, I got the dry run up here sorted by projected score to kind of see what the optimizers are kind of doing, but any kind of any kind of overview in terms of the slate plan here for you on what you're looking at here. Obviously Coors Field, right, is going to be probably a talking point here. I think there is some other spots that can definitely contend, but what are you seeing here as a broad slate overview?
Yeah, I think it's an offensive night tonight, Nades. I know in the past we've done a little pitching night. Tonight, to me, it's an offensive night. You got Coors, you got Oakland, you got mini Coors in Kansas City. You got not, I wouldn't say great hitting conditions, but you got a lot of good spots and good parks. And you also don't have the elite pitchers on the slate, right? So Hunter Brown's leading the slate. He's had a good year. But you got a lot of other guys in there mixed in with the Myers, the Gausmans, who was good in the past. Your boy Jose Quintana is the 4th highest priced pitcher. That should tell you everything you need to know. He is due for regression, in my opinion, should get lit up tonight. But anyway, focus on the offenses, in my opinion. I'm okay with paying down at pitching tonight. I think we got some good ones or some good enough ones to get by and break it all down.
Yeah. I agree with a lot of what you said here. I got the dry run up and kind of seeing more of that. Really, there's 3 guys that are kind of leading the slate in terms of what projections they're going to say, what optimizers, what ownership, everything like that is going to say. It's Aaron Nola, number 1 at that price point at 8,300, facing that Guardians team there in Cleveland. 8,300 for him and his strikeout upside. Cleveland matchup's actually been a lot more strikeouts to be had than years past there. 8,300, just too cheap for him. He hasn't looked great this season, though. So there is some worry there. He is, I mean, in the 150 teams, right, that I run here, you see it on the screen, 81% of the lineups had Aaron Nola, and then another 44% had Hunter Brown. So that's clear-cut, likely going to be the quote-unquote chalk pairing, if you will, right, when you get to single-entry stuff. Gausman's right there behind. So between those 3, it's kind of those 3 lead the charge, and then it's really everybody else. I think it's going to really get spread out after that for the most part. Is kind of what I'm looking at here, at least what SaberSim's kind of telling me here. When I filter to Saber Score and go to let me go to Saber Score here, go to large slate and go to 10 to 50,000 entrants. contest, you see that exact thing happen, right? Ownership in terms of the optimizers gets spread out. It's still Nola at the top. It's still Hunter Brown. Gavin Williams comes up due to that $6,800 price point, right? He's going to be a talking point for sure because it allows you to get up to those Padres bats, those Yankees bats, the big-time bats in good spots, in good matchups, some of the O's bats that are definitely expensive, facing Kyle Hendricks out there in a good ballpark. Gosman's still there, and then Luis Castillo, Max Meyer. So what this is telling me is projections-wise, just straight up projections-wise, Meyer's not really popping a ton, so I definitely have interest in him in tournaments. And then it's kind of spread out after that. So it's definitely for me. I'm in lockstep with you. Kind of bats first, stacks first, at least my 5-man stack first, and then kind of figure out what pitching combination is going to work. Sure, is Nola and Brown great options if I land on them and can afford them and get there? Yeah, absolutely. But am I fine with quite a few of these guys? For sure. So let's go ahead and break down this pitching slate. We'll go 8K and above here. Tyon all the way down there at the bottom at 8K. Nola, like I said, 8,300. And then up at the top, you got Hunter Brown, Max Meyer as kind of the two guys all the way up there. Max Meyer showing tons of strikeout stuff this year. He's out there in Chicago against the White Sox lineup, right? Hey, White Sox can be pesky at times, but Max Meyer is just a complete stud in general. Tons of strikeout upside there. Hunter Brown's been fantastic all season. What are you doing at the pitcher position? Definitely hit on Brown, hit on Gosman, and then hit on Nola, the three kind of leaders in the clubhouse in terms of ownership and roster construction wise.
Yeah, let's start with Meyer, number one, right? I mean, it's pretty much look at the slate, see who the White Sox are playing, and then more times than not, you're going to slot that pitcher in. And we got Meyer, he's 10-2. He is pricey, coming off a negative point performance, so there may be some concern there. But this White Sox team striking out about 25% against right-handed pitching on the season. You said it a minute ago, Meyer's got the strikeout stuff, Mad Max, the new Mad Max in the Windy City. He's my SP1 on the slate tonight, followed closely by Hunter Brown. I mean, Hunter Brown has just been the model of consistency, especially over the last 4 games where he's gotten 20-plus DraftKings points in all 4 of those games, including a 36-point game. Now he gets to go at home against this Reds team who can be dangerous at times, but they also can strike out as well. And I like Hunter Brown tonight. He's my second favorite pitcher on the slate. And then for me on Nola for me, I think I'm going to be a little bit lower than the field. Nola has struggled this season, and then his last 2 games, he's really picked it up, almost notching 30 points his last outing. So certainly understand why you would want to go there. Obviously, the price is very advantageous. My problem with this team is this Rays team is super pesky, playing in a AAA park. They've been very well against right-handed pitching all season. And with Nola getting the kind of ownership that he's going to get tonight, I think he's easier for me to pass up if I'm doing single entry or 3-max just to get different from the field. Certainly a great cash game play just because of the price. I do like Luis Castillo a little bit tonight at 8,300. He hasn't been flashing that strikeout upside that he has in the past, but I think he can manage this Blue Jays team and go 7 strong innings, get 5 or 6 strikeouts, minimal damage. And then lastly, I would talk about Kevin Gausman taking on this Mariners team. Similar to Castillo, same ballpark that they're playing in. Gausman is 9K. Gausman is coming off his best performance of the season, albeit or one of his best performances all season, albeit against the terrible Cleveland Guardians offense. So that's kind of where I would go up here in this big boy range. I'm definitely not playing any Erod against the Dodgers, and Jose Quintana, no thank you. And then Holmes and Tyon, no thank you there either.
Yeah, no, excellent breakdown there. I'm with you. I love Max Meyer at the top. 10-2, great price point. Ownership's going to be held in check. Not scared of the matchup one bit. I mean, Chase Meadroth, etc. I know people are going to click the old game. Yeah, exactly. People are going to click the old game logs there for some of those White Sox and realize that some of the chalk pitching as of late, right, have definitely kind of got to. The White Sox kind of got to him a little bit. I don't care. I'm not worried about it there. So I'm with you there. Hunter Brown's my second favorite pitcher at the top. Gosman's fine. Don't love it. don't hate it. I think he's all right. It is a really good pitching park out there. It's just the Seattle offense, man. Looking at this offense over the last 30 days has been one of the best offenses in all of baseball. Sitting there in kind of right around the top 10 in terms of overall offense. So he's fine at 9K. I'd rather find personally myself a little extra money to get up to Max Mayer or save a little bit more money, but don't mind him. Definitely prefer him as kind of the chalk guy over Aaron Nola. I'll touch on Aaron Nola in a second here. Luis Castillo, I'm with you. I like Luis Castillo. I have some interest in Clay Holmes. I get it. It is the Cubs. But Holmes has impressed me. It's not great hitting weather in general out there in Citi Field. It's pretty cold. Temperatures in the 50s. There's some slight wind blowing out to left field. I get it. The Cubs have been kind of a crazy offense, right? One of the better offenses in all of baseball. I just like the talent that we see on Clay Holmes. The only issue I have a little bit is slight pitch count concern. We got him right around, or Saber, has him right around 88 pitches, but that's kind of the nature of the slate as you see here. And I don't mind the price at 8,200. He's also a direct pivot right off of Aaron Nola, which I like. And then Luis Castillo as well as a direct pivot right off of Aaron Nola. Nola sandwich between those two. I have a little bit of interest in Jameson Taillon. I know it's pretty scary in general there. But, I mean, this Mets team has just been brutal. And I'm not afraid of him. I think Taillon can do enough on this slate. So I don't mind him. But the one guy that you didn't mention, Jose Quintana, I get it. The only thing I will say is, number one, his price, 8,700, is not good. The ballpark and the weather is really good there. But this Rays team, where they have struggled, is definitely against left-handed pitching. Everyone's going to say, oh, recency bias. They just got to Luzardo a little bit. I'm not worried about that. So if you wanted to throw Quintana in MME sets, I wouldn't hate it. Probably not a single entry 3-max type play. But I will say I did want to kind of bring up him for sure. Aaron Nola, I'll touch on Aaron Nola. Here's kind of my downgrade on Aaron Nola. The price, is the price great? Yeah, absolutely. But looking at the lineup here, Cleveland rolled out 8 left-handed hitters. 8. Nola, historically, between this year and last year, his strikeout numbers have dropped all the way down to 21% against lefties, allows almost a 200 ISO, a lot of fly balls, and this Cleveland team, like I said, loaded this lineup with lefties to tack Nola's splits. If there's ever a spot to be underweight on Nola, who's going to be, I mean, his projections off the chart, his point per dollar is off the chart. He is going to be very, very chalky on a 12-game slate where his projection, I mean, compared to the rest of the slate, really isn't nothing. I mean, the highest projected player on the slate is Hunter Brown at 19 points. And then you got a ton of guys in that 14 to 16 range. Do I really want to play super chalk Aaron Nola against 8 lefties where he has a 20 below league average strikeout rate? I'm with you there. I'm going to be on Nola. I might play him on one of my 3 teams. I'm not sure yet, but definitely not going to go over one team for sure. So I'll be definitely under the field on Aaron Nola there. Did want to call that out in particular there. I think that is a big talking point on this slate for sure. And Cleveland sees his weakness as well. Definitely rolling out 8 lefties in that lineup there. Below 8K, I do think there is some guys down here. Start at the top range. Nick Martinez at 7,800. I like what I've seen out of him. I think he's got a solid matchup here tonight. He's actually ranking really, really good in our pitcher rankings over here at SHIPIT Nation. Ownership, not going to really get to him. I mean, he's going to be pretty low owned, sub 10%, 7,800, good price. I like that quite a bit. And then Gavin Williams down at the bottom at 6,800. Tons of strikeout upside. He's a huge strikeout arm. Where you struggle against Gavin Williams is his walks, and this Phillies offense can be dangerous and steal bases as well. So there is some slight risk, but again, you're not paying the 9K up at the top. You're paying 6,800. So touch on these guys down here, the cheaper range, what you're going to do below 8K.
Yeah, one thing to note too, I said that the Phillies are playing the Rays, and they're actually obviously playing the Guardians, who've hit 35 bombs against righties this season. And you alluded to the lefties, so yeah, one clarification there. Yeah, I'm with you. I think there's a bunch of good names down here, or I shouldn't say a bunch, but some names that are worth playing. I'm going to mess up his name, so I'm just going to say the Orioles starting pitcher. Orioles starting pitcher going up against the Angels. I don't mind him. He did have an 8K strikeout game 2 games ago against the Bronx Bombers. So we know he has it in his arsenal to get there. And he's taking on the Angels, who have about a 25% strikeout rate versus righties on the season. So give me some Tomoyuki, Nades. Give me some Tomoyuki. I really like him tonight. And then you like Gavin Williams. I'm going to give you a super gross one tonight, Nades. My man, Bryce Wilson for the White Sox, 5,500. Hope we could squeeze 5 innings out of him. I think he's going to limit the damage. And if at 5-5, if he can get us 15, I think that's a win. But I don't hate Bryce Wilson at 5-5 tonight going up against this Fish team that's just not very good, strikes out in droves. I'm not saying, go all in on this guy, but if you get down to 5-5, I don't think it's the worst play on the slate.
Yeah. All right. Well, didn't think we were going to be talking about Bryce Wilson here in terms of pitching options on a 12-game slate here, but sure. Price is right. Sure. 5,500. Yeah, absolutely. But he's got a higher chance, I think, to score negative than he does to be on the winning line.
Give me your let's do a little wager. I'm going to take Bryce Wilson of whoever you take.
Yeah, so number one, I'll take Gavin Williams over Bryce Wilson any day of the week, twice on a Friday.
Points per dollar.
Points per dollar, yeah, that's fine. Go ahead. Points per dollar will do. I got Gavin Williams. I like him down here. Nick Martinez is my favorite guy, sub 8K, but he is up at the top in terms of 7,800. I'll throw 2 other guys out. Number one, Jordan Hicks. The reason I'll say Jordan Hicks is these Twins. Everyone's been slamming these Twins as of late, right? Royce Lewis has come back. When I slammed the Twins was against the lefty, their first day back, Royce's first day back. They got the job done. Outside of Buxton, this entire team has been struggling versus right-handed pitching. Jordan Hicks, pretty lucky in terms of BABIP and underlying numbers throughout the course of the season. He's an extreme ground ball guy. And like I said, this Twins team against right-handed pitching is just not the same. So I have some interest in Jordan Hicks at 7,400. Don't think he's the craziest option there. And then Gavin Williams is kind of the other guy. I don't have interest in Sugana. I actually like some of the Angels bats against him personally. So for me, it's really Martinez, it's Hicks, and it's Gavin Williams are kind of the guys I'm looking at down here to save. But I don't really think you need to go more than that because we have so many guys in that lower 8K range, right? Castillo, Nola, Clay Holmes, Tyon, Nick Martinez right there around 8K. So those are kind of the 3 guys I'm looking at below 8K. Go ahead and give the people your top 5 pitchers before we go game by game. I'll pull up the stone here, refresh it, and we'll talk hitting.
Yeah, number 1 is going to be Meyer for me. Love the matchup that he gets with this White Sox team. 2 for me would be Hunter Brown. Really like Hunter Brown tonight as well. And then I would say 3/4. I'm going to lump Gausman and Castillo in that same game. And then Sagano. I like Toma. What is it? Tomoyuki. Oh, man. Tomoyuki, Sagano. Come on down. You're about to carve up this Angels team. And then Bryce Wilson's about to take a dump on this Marlins team. You don't get Bryce Wilson at home for 5-5 too often. And when you do, you pounce on it.
You pounce on it. I don't know who you're going to be pouncing on or what's happening there, but you can have Bryce Wilson. You can have Sugana and his, abysmal strikeout rate. He's striking out 13% of hitters. So go ahead and you can play him. He's going to walk 5 guys tonight. So I'm out on that. Angels are going to be on the winner over way higher chance than Sugana. I'll tell you that, number 1. And then you're talking about a guy by Bryce Wilson. The reason his price is at 5,500 is because the dude's strikeout rate is less than Hoop's kid on his little league team. So I'll tell you that. He's got a sub 10% strikeout rate. Good luck with that. You can play those 2 guys. I'm going to actually play good pitchers on this 12-game slate. Hunter Brown, love him at the top. Max Meyer, love him at the top. Nick Martinez, my 3rd favorite pitcher on this slate. I'll throw a curveball in. Quintana, he ranks pretty good. He ranks pretty good in our pitcher rankings in MME. Definitely think getting some interest on him is interesting. And then I like Jordan Hicks for another cheaper guy down there. His ground ball rate stuff, I think some of his BABIP numbers are going to recorrect themselves there against that Twins team. And I actually like some Giants offense there to give him some run support there. So that's kind of where I'm going. Obviously, Gausman, right? Aaron Nola, those guys are great plays at the top. Didn't want to just go ahead and say the chalk guys. Definitely under on Nola, though, in kind of hindsight overall on this slate.
Nate,
Pull up.
hold on real quick. It's that part of the show. Jose Quintana is the worst play on the slate. The entire slate, he's the worst play.
All right, we'll see. I mean, he's our 4th rated pitcher on this entire slate. This Rays team struggles against lefties. Quintana has pitched well. The only thing, again, I mean, it's an ownership play. I'm looking at sub 5% on a guy that's pitched good all season. Rays struggle against lefties. The only downfall, like I said, is the weather in the park. If he can navigate Yandy Diaz, I think he can be all right. But we're going to go right to that game. So if you say he's the worst player in the slate, you have to have interest in some of these Rays. Then we're going to Tropicana Junior, right? The Little League park out there in Tampa. In terms of the weather, really good weather here in terms of hitting. What are you going to do here with these Milwaukee Brewers and these Tampa Bay Rays? 15-mile-an-hour winds to start the game, blowing straight out to center field, anywhere from 8 to kind of 15 throughout the entire duration of that game. Temperatures in the upper 70s, low 80s. Definitely a good hitting park. Definitely a good wind park for hitting for sure. What are you doing here? You have to likely like some of these Rays based on your statement there of Quintana.
Yeah, definitely like the Rays. Christopher Morel batting second. That's up from where he normally is in the lineup. Brandon Lau, you name it. I really like him tonight as well. Dirt cheap on FanDuel, giving him away for free. And he's darn near dirt cheap on DK as well. I mean, those prices are just too cheap. Quintana, I mean, I think Quintana is who we thought he was. 16% strikeout rate on the road. I think he gets lit up tonight. I'll know early, Nate. You know, I go to bed about 8:30. I'll know before I go to bed how I'm looking because this game will be almost over. I'll probably have 15 runs on the board with these Rays. And then on the flip side, I don't mind your brew crew going down south. I think 1 through 5 I like. Even your boy Reese Hoskins, who I know you're not a fan of. Sal Frelick can't hit it out of the infield. But, yeah, give me 1 through 5 for the Brewers. And then Jose Caballero down there in the 8th spot, may steal like 6 bases tonight. Man, we're rolling tonight with these Rays.
Yeah, you can take your Rays. I don't hate some one-offs. I will say Quintana does struggle against righties, and the Rays see that, only throwing 2 lefties out there. So, like I said, Quintana's not a main team, not a single entry team play, but in MME, I won't be surprised. I mean, if you have 5%, you're double or triple the field at least, or 10%, excuse me. So that's kind of where my interest was. Again, main team single entry stuff, I probably don't get there personally. I don't really like the Rays much here tonight, personally. Yandy Diaz is on fire right now, 3,800. Expect him to be pretty chalky, especially at that third base position, which is overall pretty weak. Caminero is fine. And then, Caballero, my guy, I don't mind him down there. But the real interest in this game is on the Brewer side, not just because I'm a Milwaukee, Wisconsin guy. Littell's not any good. And not only that, this Tampa Bay Rays bullpen got absolutely beat up by the Phillies. I mean, there is 5 guys in this bullpen over the last 3 days that have pitched 30 or more pitches. There's only 1 guy under 20 pitches in Mason Montgomery. The rest of them have all been taxed. They've all been throwing, and Littell is not a great arm by any means. If there's ever a spot for this Brewers team to hit the baseball and get back on track, it's in this spot. So I love the Brew Crew here tonight. Ownership, not really worried about them too much with the Coors Field slate game on the slate. Churio, Contreras, Hoskins, Isaac Collins, really like him a lot at 2,500. He's impressed me. He's looked good. Joey Ortiz is another cheap bat. You can like him. Caleb Durbin, I like him. I mean, I love 1 through 9 on this Brewers team. A little bit lower on Yelich and Turang, but they got this platoon advantage there and can always steal the bases. Yelich is struggling a lot right now at the plate. Got good numbers, good ballpark, full 9 inning at bats against a taxed bullpen. So it could get ugly in a hurry if Littell kind of gets hit around early with that taxed bullpen coming in. So love the Brewers. I think Brewers are one of my top favorite stacks on this slate, just all things considered. Don't really respect Littell too much. Think the Brewers can get to him, and then that bullpen behind him is just absolutely got destroyed over the last couple of days by that Phillies team being in Tampa. Next game on the slate, Cubs and the Mets. Clay Holmes, Tyon, I had interest in both these pitchers. I don't love these offenses too much. Cubs are kind of in that category of you can stack them anytime. As you can see here, it's not going to take much in MME. Cubs would always be in my MME set if I was running multiple teams. I'm not here tonight, so I'm not going to be getting to these Cubs. Can't fault anyone for getting to them. I just side more on the side of Clay Holmes personally. I had some interest in Jameson Taillon overall. That back half of this Mets team strikes out a ton. Alvarez, Beatty, Acuna, McNeil. Lots of strikeouts to be had in the back half. So if Taillon can navigate the top guys, right, the big bops at the top, Alonso, Soto, Lindor, I think he can get us a good enough score at 8K. Also has a direct pivot right there off of Aaron Nola. What are you doing here in terms of hitting?
Yeah. What did you say the weather was? Not good for hitting weather?
Yeah, 50 degrees here. Wind slightly blowing out to the left, about 5 to 8 miles an hour I'm seeing. But, yeah, temperatures in the low 50s.
Yeah, I mean, I think I like the lefties for this Mets team going up against Taillon. I think he got pretty battered a couple outings ago. So, yeah, give me these lefties. More of a mini, right, with Lindor, maybe Soto at the top. Let's see, is this lineup out? Looking at the stone, yeah. So Lindor, Soto, your boy Nemo. Yeah, I don't hate the top two. And then if you wanted to mini it, yeah, get Alonso in there 1, 2, and 3 nades. I think that's it for me. And then on the flip side, yeah, Clay Holmes, pretty good stuff. But this Cubbies team is they got some pretty good bats. Obviously, you see a lot of green over there on them. I don't think I'm getting there. I'm with you there. But I don't hate like a one-off if you wanted to play a Kyle Tucker or somebody like that.
Yeah, Clay Holmes got good strikeout stuff, extreme ground ball guy. I get it. The Cubs can hit the ball in the air. Tucker, Suzuki, Bush are kind of the main fly ball guys, Pete Crow, Armstrong. But 12-game slate, 24 teams, not the best hitting environment, much better spots. I mean, it's 60 degrees or 50 degrees, warmer out there in Arizona. No surprise. But, I mean, it's 20 to 30 degrees warmer in a lot of other spots with wind blowing out, better parks. So for me, this game's a fade outside of one-offs, mini stack, sure, play Lindor, Soto, Tucker, those guys. But I like going elsewhere personally myself because you do have to pay for those bats as well. I'd rather pay out for the Yankees, the Padres, some of the other spots. I get it. They're higher owned. But I can get different elsewhere on a 12-game slate personally myself. Next team on the slate, Phillies and the Guardians. Aaron Nola, Gavin Williams on the hill. I have more interest on the Guardian side of this game. Number one, you get leverage. I already talked about Aaron Nola's struggles against lefties. He's going to be the chalkiest pitcher on the slate. He ranks pretty good in our rankings here, but don't sleep on these lefties here for the Guardians. I'll say number one, Daniel Schienemann. Play him at second base. Don't play him in the outfield. Second base is a weak position, 3,200, good value there. Hitting second, J-Ram right behind him. Stephen Kwan up at the top. Angel Martinez. I mean, you got cheap guys in here. Am I going to 5-man stack the Guardians here? Absolutely not. But as 2- and 3-man stacks, as a leverage off of Nola, where he struggles against lefties, allows power. I don't think it's the craziest play. Bo Naylor is looking good. Manzardo is looking good. Schienemann. I think the Guardians are pretty interesting here in tournaments as a slept-on stack. Phillies, not much interest myself. I will say they're hitting pretty good right now, but I like other teams more than the Phillies. I sided with the Guardians here.
Yeah, just looking at the lineups here. I mean, the lefties. Gavin's given up some bombs to lefties this year. We know what Kyle Schwarber can do. Max Kepler's got a little bit of pop in him. Don't hate the lefty minis. And then the Guardians, yeah, I'm with you in terms of I'm only playing the Guardians in tournaments, a big field GPP tournaments where Nola should come in. What do we have it at? We have it at 30% ownership. I think it's higher than that in the lotto, but give me some Guardians. If I'm building 10 teams, maybe on 2 teams, and don't mind them as a GPP play.
Yeah, I will say yesterday they burned up a decent amount of bullpens. I mean, Strom threw 18 pitches yesterday. Banks threw 27 yesterday. Romano threw 14. Alvarado threw 11. Hernandez threw 8. So the Philly bullpen is a little bit taxed, right? Obviously, when Luzardo gets knocked out of that game early in Tampa and that game in general, right? Good weather, good park for hitting in general. They did use up some of their bullpen arms. So a little bit higher boost as well to some of the Guardians. I just think the leverage here for the Guardians is pretty interesting. Like I said, I think Nola is going to come in higher on than what we even have him projected at. We got him around that 30 mark. High stake stuff. I wouldn't be surprised to see Nola at that price point and that projection in a projection driven industry that we're in right now, right? In today's world, projections drive everything. I can see him pushing 50%, to be honest, in small field stuff. Next game on the slate, Red Sox and the Royals. Typically, we like the Red Sox more at home in Fenway. However, they do go to another hitter's ballpark here. Interesting to see your take here because it's your boyfriend. It's your ceiling poster. It's Michael Lorenzen on the hill for the Royals. Hunter Dobbins on the hill for the Red Sox here. Royals are starting to hit the ball. In particular, Michael Massey's starting to hit the ball. Bobby Slams is just continues to be a beast. I mean, if he gets on, he's swiping. Ton of power. Puts the ball in play. Any interest in this one here for you? Red Sox and the Royals. Pretty good hitting park in general. Not the best hitting weather, but should see some runs in this one.
Yeah, I just switched out my Lorenzen poster with a Bryce Wilson poster. So looking forward to falling asleep with that tonight. And, man, this Lorenzen guy gives up a ton of fly balls to righties. So kind of a reverse splitsy kind of guy, if you will. Big nades, and just looking at some Boston guys to see how Bregman and crew have done against that. So if I'm playing Boston guys, Alex Bregman looks very nice. I would start with the righties, and if you wanted to sprinkle in some lefties, it would be more of a mini for me with a Bregman and who's batting around him, Christian Campbell, maybe Trevor Story. I don't hate. What about your boy Rafael Devers just refusing to play first base? Man, that was something else. But give me some Alex Bregman. I like him tonight in this game. And then the Royals kind of got off the they got some of that White Sox love this week. I think they put up, 10 or 11 yesterday. Bobby was stealing left and right. Don't hate them. Maybe they're coming out of their shell, starting to hit like they were last year. But for me, it's that top five that's going to do the damage. So, yeah, top five for the Royals, and then Bregman has a one-off I really like. Then if you wanted to maybe mini that with like him and Campbell or Devers, Bregman and Campbell, something like that, I wouldn't hate that either.
Yeah, I actually have interest in both sides. I prefer stacking the Red Sox here more personally. Lorenzen, sub 19% K rate. Worse against righties, like you alluded to, allows more powers, although over the last 30 days, it's been bad to both sides of the plate, tons of power to both sides. More fly ball lean, like you said, right, to the righties. Bregman, Campbell, really good options there. Don't sleep on Devers, Duran, Abreu, like those guys. Trevor Story, for whatever reason, I know our guy Dark Knight in the chat shits on him all the time, but hey, Trevor Story's actually hitting the baseball a little bit this year. I'd stick to kind of the top five. Duran, Devers, Bregman, Campbell, Abreu is kind of where I'd go for the Sox in particular. Myself on the KC side, looking at Hunter Dobbins, below average strikeout rate, right around 18% between this year and last year. ISO numbers to lefties off the charts, so I would stick to the lefties in particular for the Royals. Vinny P, Michael Massey, like I alluded to, Kyle Isbell, for whatever reason, this dude just continues to hit home runs left and right. I mean, the Royals can be chalk. Everybody will fail except Kyle Isbell, the one dude that's 2% on the Royal stack. So don't sleep on him. Little wrapper on him with Kyle Isbell, Bobby Witt, I think is a little interesting two-man, or Isbell, Witt, Pasquantino, I think. Minis only for me on the Royals. More of full stacks, like I said, on the Red Sox side myself. Here we go. Friday Night Fish Fry. Excited to hear your take on your new beloved Bryce Wilson. I never thought I'd see the day of somebody literally stroking it off to Bryce Wilson, but here we are. Bryce Wilson, Max Meyer. Personally, myself, you play the left side of this chart here, the team in the blue, pitcher and the hitters. Bryce Wilson sucks. Bullpen sucks behind him. I have zero interest in any of these White Sox, but talk to me. Where are you going here?
The best catching play on the slate tonight is Augustin Ramirez. We have him batting fifth. Hopefully he's batting cleanup. Augustin Ramirez, a great play. Everybody else on this list, let's look at their ownership. They're not going to be owned. But yeah, Augustin Ramirez, best catcher play on the slate. And then, yeah, I'm with you. No White Sox. I'm definitely not stacking the Marlins. I don't think these guys can hit it out of the infield outside of Ramirez. Maybe Connor Norby can if he gets lucky. But yeah, give me some Augustin Ramirez and nobody else.
Yeah, I like the Marlins here as mini stacks. Xavier Edwards always has stolen base upside. Don't love his price. I'm with you, Augustin Ramirez. The dude has tons of power. Even in his minor league, he hasn't been up here long, but he's just absolutely murders, especially right-handed pitching. He murders both sides, but really good against righties. Jesus Sanchez has a lot of power there. Eric Wegman is fine as well. Mini stacks, I don't hate these guys. Again, Bryce Wilson is just absolutely horrendous. Already alluded to his numbers. 0 interest. First thing you do when you go open up your optimizer, you go over there, you click the X button next to his name. You move on with the slate. You boost up the Marlins mini stacks a little bit. And yeah, that's the breakdown here for the White Sox and the Marlins. We'll see. Maybe I'll be eating my fish and chips while Ham's in the sheets, staring at his poster, working to put that Lorenzen one back over the top to make sure nobody saw that Bryce Wilson one up there. Next game on the slate, Reds and the Astros. Hunter Brown, Martinez. I like both arms in this one. The reason being for Martinez, I like his stuff. I like his metrics. And this Astros team is just horrible against right-handed pitching. Their best bat is on the IL in Yordan Alvarez. The only other lefty they have on this roster is Victor Caratina. He was likely not even going to be in there. 9 righties against Martinez at 7,800. I'll take my chances. I've played much worse pitchers this year against these Astros that are right-handed. A lot of the Brewers, shitbags at the back half of the rotation, got the job done. I think Nick Martinez can get the job done here. And then this Reds team just strikes out a ton. I have 0 interest in the Reds. I love Hunter Brown, my favorite pitcher on the slate. I like the pitching duel here. I think interesting way. Pair both of these pitchers up. Go Hunter Brown, go Martinez. It's naturally different, right? Because at the top, they're going Nola. So instead of pairing Hunter Brown with Nola, you pair him with Nick Martinez, who's going to be sub 10%. Naturally, you're different right there. Off the top, and you got extra $500 to work with in your roster. What are you doing here? Any hitters for you?
Yeah. You broke it down. I think Hunter Brown, like I said at the top of the show, has been phenomenal. I mean, these Reds, they're pesky on the base pass, right? You get them on the base pass, they're going to try to steal at every moment's notice. McLean, De La Cruz, you name it, they're going to try to steal. But it's tough to full stack them. And then I'm with you, Nades. I think Nick Martinez, sneaky good play. We have him, sub 15%? Or no, dang, sub 7% on DK. I was looking at his projection. So, yeah, he's going to be unknown, but I think he's a great play. This Astros offense is putrid. This Astros offense is even more putrid without their best hitter that you talked about. And they're going to trot out, this says 9 righties. Maybe, I don't even know if they have any lefties. They've been doing this all week, I feel like. So give me some Nick Martinez. I agree with you there. I like this Astros team total under their team total as well, Nades.
Yeah, the one thing I will say against Hunter Brown, if you wanted to be contrarian in large field stuff and include minis for the Reds, I would only focus on the stolen base guys. Hunter Brown has allowed the most stolen bases per innings pitched on this entire slate. He's allowed 27 over the last 2 seasons. Ellie De La Cruz will swipe every time he gets a chance. He's got 81 stolen bases over the last 2 years. Spencer Steer will swipe. Jake Fraley will swipe. Friedel will swipe. All 4 of those guys are still in that lineup. Espinal will swipe. He's got 11 bags, and McLean will swipe as well. Pretty much this entire team will run outside of, the back half. Stevenson's not going to run. Hayes isn't going to run much. Lux can run a little bit, but really doesn't. It's really the main 4, Friedel, Fraley, Steer, Ellie De La Cruz. Pick 2 of those 4 if you want to leverage. I don't think it's a spot for me personally, but I will say that is where you can pick some upside. Typically, I like targeting stolen bases more on mini slates. I just don't think the industry, number 1, accounts for bullpens enough, and number 2, accounts for stolen base targets enough on slates where scoring isn't going to be there. Do I think that's here tonight with a 12-game slate? Really good hitting environments, really good matchups for a lot of these teams? Probably not, but in large field stuff, 5% of these guys is probably 5x the field, and 1 stolen base is 5 points there. So you can get the old poor man's home run, walk, steal second, score a base. You're on your way to that 14 points in DraftKings. Next game on the slate, Twins and the Giants. Jordan Hicks, Chris Paddock on the mound. I have no interest in these Twinkies. I have more interest personally in Jordan Hicks. Like I said, ground ball stuff. I expect his baby to regress back, and this Twins team is just not good against right-handed pitching. We've kind of seen that the last 2 games, right? When people were kind of slamming these Twins in. against the I think it was Baltimore, right? Baltimore was in town. Where I wanted to play the Twins was against the lefties. Where I don't want to play the Twins is against a righty, especially a extreme ground ball guy in Hicks. Where I do want to play, though, is some of these Giants bats here against Chris Paddock, who allows a ton of home runs per 9. Giants have some guys here that can hit the ball out of the park. I prefer more as mini stacks. I don't love 5-man stack in this team, but as many 2- and 3-man stacks, I think the Giants are definitely an interesting offense here. Home run hunting against Chris Paddock. Hey, you should probably come off mute, buddy.
Yeah, that generally helps. Yeah, Mike Yastrzemski, love that kid tonight. He's a great play. Who else is a good play?
It's the lefties first. You want the lefties first against Paddock. Is what you want. The dude's got a sub 11% K rate to lefties over the last 30 days. Fly ball rates up there. So lefties personally, but what are you seeing?
Yeah, Yastrzemski and Ramos. That's who I want. And then if you wanted a mini or full stack it, you could get your boy Willie Adames in there. I don't mind the righties or lefties, but Ramos as the righty, Yastrzemski leading off, going yard tonight. Give me some Yaz batting leadoff. Yeah,
definitely Yaz, my favorite play there. Jung-Hoo Lee, a little mini stack there, 4,500, 4,600. Don't love the price point there, but full 9 inning at bats. They almost got the job done for Tambo the other night out there. Got him some tickets to the 920 qualifier here tonight for the live final. So good luck to him and everybody else.
In the MLB streets. Let's go.
Every night. He's always in the MLB streets there. He's
sneaking in there?
Yeah, he's the little he's the rattlesnake that sits underneath the rock and strikes when somebody walks past. Nobody knows he's there. He just sneakily sits there in the old MLB streets and just builds winners. So yeah, he's definitely going to be in there. All right, we have to do it. We have to talk about the Rockies. We have to talk about the Padres. 2 horrible pitchers here in general. One good bullpen in the Padres. Man, Santangelo is just absolutely horrendous. Padres, what do? They don't strike out. They put the ball in play. What happens when you put the ball in play in Coors Field? The ball tends to go places where outfielders and fielders are not. Sometimes over the wall as well. Tons of upside here for the Padres. The only downfall you could say is ownership, but on a 12-game slate, when we got the Yankees, right, we got these other spots. We got the Brewers in Tampa. Like I said, we got the Yankees out there in Oakland. We have other spots that are going to pull some ownership from the Padres here. The other thing I will say, too, is this Colorado bullpen just absolutely got beat up. All of the bullpen arms that I'm looking at have all thrown 20-plus pitches over the last 3 games. We could see an old position player here coming in after Santangelo late in this game. Padres should absolutely tee off. I typically don't like playing Coors Field. I am playing Coors Field here tonight. Solid weather there. Temperatures in the 70s as well. Typically, we've seen 50s as of late out there. It's going to be in the 70s out there in Denver. I love both sides of this game. Rocky side definitely going to be way under-owned compared to the Padres side. And Vasquez is just terrible. This dude has skated by disaster all season long, due for mega regression. He has the 3rd highest expected ERA on the entire slate. Rocky side just got beat up yesterday, but give me some Doyle, give me some Beck, McMahon, Toglia. I like the lefties first, and then these righties are also really good. I love this game a ton here. I'm going to be a Coors Field donkey. I think it's a good spot here, though, tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see how – I'm with you. Like, how do you not stack against Santangelo? Has been bad for years, I feel like, at this point. My boy Jake the Snake at, 4,400 tonight, coming off the IL, batting 6th, so that should neutralize him some. I love Cronenworth down there at 4,400. I mean, Nades, like, what do you – like these – we're showing sub 10% on a lot of these guys on DK. Do you think that's right, or do you just think –
on the Rocky side, yeah, for sure. The Rocky side will be sub 10%. The reason being is, number one, Padres bullpen, best in baseball. They're all, for the most part, rested. I mean, outside of Peralta and Adam, the rest of them are all pretty rested. So if things go south for Vasquez, it's going to be good bullpen arms coming in behind him. But, man, I think mini stacks, even full stacks of the Rockies at the ownership is definitely good plays for sure in this spot.
Yeah, I think we both agree that we lean Padres, but don't necessarily hate the Rockies either. Just looking at Sentintella's splits, like he's horrendous against righties, just absolutely horrendous, right?
Yeah, I mean,
lefties too, but he's worse against righties.
Yeah, he allows a ton of power to righties. 344 ISO between this year and last year. Fly ball rates up there. He is a ground ball guy to lefties, kind of an extreme ground ball guy, 22%. Again, Jackson Merrill, Cronenworth are massive fly ball guys, so you're not really worried. Tons of power there. So, like I said, I like it all. Who I would avoid, number one, Jason Hayward. He's a ground ball hitter.
Horrendous.
Yeah, I don't like him. Bogarts, don't really like him much personally, but he hits from the righty. So, I mean, overall, not the greatest lineup for the Padres. The lineup is out. We don't have it confirmed yet here, but it's going to be Tatis. It's going to be Arias. Yeah, it's out. Yeah, so it's their usual lineup. We're getting Cronenworth and Merrill back. So this team's getting healthy. Like I said, my least favorite guy is Jason Hayward. I do think he's one of the lower-owned ones, probably for a good reason. I would stick to Tatis, Arias, Machado, Merrill, Cronenworth, Xander. Adding in those guys at the back half are going to make you somewhat different there. But, man, I don't love Jason Hayward. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, X him out of the player pool. That guy's awful.
So, naturally, he's going to hit 2 home runs here tonight. But, yeah, talking point of the slate, Padres. But like I said, I mean, Sentinel, I don't expect him to do much damage. And then you got a horrible bullpen behind that is absolutely just beaten up. I mean, they got destroyed by
doubleheader yesterday.
Yeah, they had a doubleheader yesterday, got destroyed by Detroit the entire series. So, yeah, I mean, just load the wagon on the Padres. Their ownership's going to be up there. But, again, big enough slate, good enough spots. It's going to spread. Love the Padres side in this one. Next game on the slate, definitely myself. I have interest in both sides of this game a lot. I know you were stroking it off to Sagano here, his 10% K rate there. Talk to me. Any Baltimore interest against Kyle Hendricks and a bad bullpen behind the worst bullpen in baseball, I should say, behind Kyle Hendricks there. I can never get this dude right. I stack against him. He goes out there and throws 7 scoreless. So what is it going to be the good O's here tonight? Or is it going to be the O's that fall in their place when people are playing them? And then this Angels team is starting to hit the baseball right now. Baltimore pen is not good, right? They've been continuing to slip down the rankings in terms of bullpen rankings. One of the lesser bullpens in all of baseball. What are you doing here in this one, Anaheim?
Yeah, this Orioles team, do they struggle? Yes. Who do they struggle against? Power pitchers that can strike them out. The good news for all the Orioles fans out there tonight is that Kyle Hendricks throws about an 88-mile-an-hour fastball, so he's not going to be blowing anything by him. The Orioles are about to tee off. Top 3 offense, in my opinion, tonight against Kyle Hendricks. Love stacking him. And then if I have a chance to stack against a guy by the name of Zach Neto, Nolan Shawnell, Taylor Ward, Jorge Soler, Yon Moncada batting 6th, Luis Rengifo. That's one of the worst offenses I've ever seen in my life. Give me some Tomoyuki Sugano, 7K, carving up this Angels. I wouldn't play an Angels player with your money, Nades. Don't do it. Save your money.
Yeah, good thing you're not playing with my money, and I'm going to have some Angels. I'm going to tell you that right now. Sugano's going to walk 4 guys, 3-run home run. Neto's going to shove it right up where the sun don't shine because the dude's been absolutely smashing the baseball. Taylor Ward, Soler, Logan O'Hoppe. Moncada has actually been hitting home runs as of late, if you haven't seen. I like this offense. I like both sides. I think this game could be the highest scoring game on the slate. It could outscore Coors Field here, this game, both sides. I like both sides. I prefer the Orioles side, but at the ownership, I don't think many people are going to go to the Angels. They're also cheap, which I like. They allow you to get a different roster construction. I'm on both sides here. I like both sides of this game, so we're definitely different there. Yeah, let's move on. Next game on the slate, D-backs and the Dodgers. I did check the roof status here. It is going to be open. I'm not sure why it's going to be open. It's 100 degrees out there in Arizona. They may make a game time decision to shut that. But at the start of that game, it's 100 degrees. Throughout the entire duration, it's 95 to 100. Slight wind blown out. Doesn't really matter here in this ballpark. Dodgers got destroyed last night. And then the D-backs roughed up Yamamoto, who hasn't been hit all season. I think he gave up 2 runs in 7 starts. Gave up 5 earned runs yesterday to these D-backs. Now you face Sasaki, who could walk the entire lineup. And then Carroll could come up with the bases loaded, slam one over the fence. Moreno hit a grand slam last night. I think we see another big night out of these Snakes here. I like the D-backs at their ownership. Nobody's going to play them. They're starting to hit the baseball right now. Sasaki, not any good, in my opinion. Slight downgrade. The bullpen, right, for the Dodgers is overall pretty good. They did have to use up some arms last night. 4 guys in this bullpen have thrown 20-plus pitches in the last 3 games. What are you doing here? Any Dodgers interest coming off that flop leg spot where they scored 1 run, solo home run by Ohtani in the 9th that cost me $600, so that was fun. But where are you going here?
Oh, that's just like the stone worst. Like
every time, man. Every time I pull up DraftKings Live app, right, and I see how many innings are left of the last 2 games going on, and I see the Dodgers are at the 8th spot, right, with no outs. And I was like, oh, perfect. Ohtani's going to come up in the top of the 9th when the game is over. Doesn't matter. He's going to hit a home run at 65% ownership and just wipe my my entire winnings away. And that's exactly what he did. It never fails. But what's going to happen here tonight? Any Dodgers, any D-backs for you?
It never fails and it never happens for you. Like, I don't understand how that works. It just, you never get a 9th inning home run. But anyway, so annoying. Yeah, I mean, Dodgers are a great play. I mean, you got Erod up there, not a very good pitcher, and you got a lot of good bats for the Dodgers. So yeah, just looking, definitely not Conforto. I would say 1 through 6, assuming that these guys are all in there. Your boy, what did I call him last week? Andy Pagis, even though he's striking out 35% on the season. But no, you bring up a good point. Like with these Diamondbacks, I mean, look at that ownership. It's going to be, 12-game slate, but it's going to be virtually unowned. And there's not a lot of red in there. Tons of green. We love targeting green. Green is good. So, yeah, give me some of these D-backs, low owns. Really like them going up against Sasaki tonight. You talked about the walks. We got the stolen bases with Corbin Carroll and crew. I think I saw Josh Naylor steal a base the other night. So, yeah, give me these D-backs. And then, it's tough to stack the Dodgers just based on the fact that their prices, right? 2 dudes above $6K, 1 dude in 5,600. So they'd be more as one-offs and or maybe like 2-mans at a 5-2-1, something like that. But full stack in this Diamondbacks team. They got some cheap pieces in the heart of their lineup as well.
Yeah, the thing I'll say about Sasaki is he's got a 17% walk rate to lefties. The D-backs have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lefties that are going to hit from the left side, right? A couple switch hitters in there. Love Carroll, love Marte, love Smith, love Naylor. Love Alec Thomas. I don't think Alec Thomas is in there now that I'm looking at it. No, he is in there. So I like me some Alec Thomas, Perdomo. I want all the lefties for the D-backs personally myself. Sasaki's not any good. He's going to, like I said, I expect him to walk probably four of these dudes. Tons of power behind. I love the D-backs here. Best play in the Dodgers is Will Smith, 4,100, one-off, onesie position catcher. He smashes left-handed pitching. Erod allows a ton of power to righties. I prefer the Dodgers here personally myself more as mini stacks on this slate. I think the Will Smith, Andy Pagis, as you like to say, little mini stack there is pretty interesting. Obviously, I always play Mookie, as our guy G. Risen says, against the lefty for sure. He's great, but I like more of the mini stacks here. I don't love these lefties. Screw Ohtani, screw Ohtani in general. That dude just absolutely is my arch nemesis. The dude never gets it done for me. I 5-stacked the Dodgers yesterday. They scored 1 run, and my one team that I hedged was winning all the money, and dude 65% on, hits a bomb. So screw them. Mini stacks for the Dodgers, full stacks for the D-backs. That's where I'm going here tonight. Blue Jays, Mariners, worst ballpark on the slates. Castillo, Gosman, two good pitchers here. For me, this game is a complete cross-off spots. Mariners, you can get some leverage against Gosman. I don't love it. Personally, I will say, Raleigh, play him anytime he's on the slate. Big dumper. The dude just absolutely mashes baseballs. Polanco, I mean, this dude has been rejuvenated. He is our number one ranked hitter. He's smashing at home here. Mini stacks, one-offs only for me in this spot. I'm particularly on the Mariner side just to get some leverage off of Gosman, but I like the pitchers here. Another spot where I think you can pair these pitchers together in this best ballpark in all of baseball over the last 3 seasons for pitching.
Yeah, I would agree with you. No Blue Jays. And Jorge Bonds batting second should be good tonight. Gausman does give up a ton of fly balls to both sides of the plate, so I don't know who they are. Nate, you probably know off the top of your head, but whoever the fly ball guys are for the Mariners, I might be wanting to home run hunt there for a last man in on the Mariners side, but definitely not full stack in the Mariners. Probably not even.
Yeah, your two best fly ball guys are Raleigh and Polanco. Dylan Moore, Leody Taveras, if he's in there, Rowdy Tellez, those are kind of the fly ball guys you're looking at. J-Rod will hit the ball in the air, but he also hits the ball on the ground at kind of double what he does there. So the main guys, Polanco and Raleigh, are the two guys you're looking at. Low ground ball guys, they hit more fly balls than they do grounders.
Yeah, and that's no one's playing Polanco tonight according to our stuff. And he's our number one hitter. That's a great GPP type play in my opinion if you wanted to go there.
Yeah, it's because he's 4,900 at second base. That's probably the reason people like to spend there, save there, myself included. Second and third base are pretty weak, but it naturally spend up to be contrarian, right? Polanco. So don't hate it there. I just hate the ballpark in general. Last game on the slate is a good one. Likely myself, you're going to want some PMR related remaining on the slate. Yankees heading into the minor league park out there in Sacramento. Double-digit wind blowing out in this one. It's pretty warm as well, and you got a fly ball guy by the name of Oswaldo Vito here. Yankees coming to town. They're used to hitting in a short porch. Now they get another short porch. Not quite as short a porch here, but they get 80 degrees out there in Sacramento. 7-mile-an-hour winds blowing straight out to center field. Not the best bullpen behind him as well. I mean, you have to absolutely love these lefties. These lefties absolutely mash Vito. And then, hey, checks notes. Yeah, Aaron Judge is good at baseball, can hit anybody, and I'm not scared of Vito by any means. I prefer the lefties more. Trent Grisham, Ben Rice, Bellinger, who's finally coming around, Austin Wells. You got a cheap guy in Vivas down there. If he can decide how to finally make contact with a baseball, that'd be nice. But, hey, you don't have to pay for him. I love the Yankees here. All things considered, ownership included, I prefer the Yankees slightly to the Padres, but it's really close. It's Yankees, Padres, Brewers are kind of the 3 main teams I'm looking at here tonight as my top 3. What are you doing here? Last game of the slate.
Yeah, I think you got to have some interest in it. Aaron Judge maybe hits another 275-foot home run to right. We'd love to see that. But these lefties are great plays. Austin Wells included. I think you said him. Grisham, as you alluded to in your slate plan. I mean, just up and down that lineup. Lefties look great. Bellinger batting 5th. Yeah, give me some 1, 2, 3, 5, 7. And then on the flip side, I think Will Warren's beatable as well. Athletics playing in the same wind, same stadium, and they've been mashing us well with Rooker, Soderstrom. I think it's had double dongs at least one night. But yeah, Rooker, Soderstrom, Lede, Langeliers. Love those guys tonight as well. It should be a great game.
Yeah, he's actually Will Warren between this year and last year is reverse splitsies. So, I mean, I love Langeliers and Brent Rooker right away. Soderstrom, always a good option. Like him a ton. Jacob Wilson never strikes out. Dude puts the ball in play. I love this game in general. Definitely prefer the Yankees side of this one. I did look at the bullpen. The Athletics bullpen is pretty taxed as well. 5 guys have thrown 20 pitches or more in the last 3, and 4 of those 5 have thrown 18 pitcher or between 17 and 19 pitches yesterday alone. So definitely going to be a pretty tired bullpen coming in after Beto gets absolutely steamrolled here. So naturally, the way baseball goes and the way DFS works, Yankees are going to score 1 run in 9 innings here. Hopefully it's not, because I'm going to be loading the wagon on the Yankees. Love them. And then I like the A's side as well. Prefer the power righties more to target those reverse splits there of Will Warren. Yankees bullpen is really good behind him. I will say that. And they're also rested. So I don't love that a ton. Prefer more mini stacks on the A side personally myself. But yeah, pretty low ownership in general on the Yankees outside of Grisham and Judge, who get ownership regardless of the slate. The rest of that lineup's not really getting played, as you can see there, sub 10% on the entire lineup.
Yeah,
that's all.
Go ahead. Can you address this? The strikeout, that's how many they've had at home, but can you address that for Jason? I think it's the second time he's asked.
So there are plenty of 18 and 20s in the strikeout column. No way that is the over-under.
Right, that's total number of strikeouts at home or on the road for the season.
Yes, correct. Yeah, so the numbers you see down here in this entire sheet, the left team is the away team, the right team is the home team. All of these numbers, pitchers and the hitters, are all splits driven by platoons. So all of these numbers here you see for Ohtani, and he has 27 plate appearances on the road this season against left-handed pitching. These are his statistics against them. Sasaki on the road this season has 15 Ks on the road against everybody, obviously, for pitching, 19.5% K rate. So these are all home road splits and handedness numbers as well here. That's part of the reason why the MLB Stone is the one-stop best tool in all of DFS. You got everything in one spot, including the rankings over here on the back half, the ownership, the projections, and then all of the metrics that you want to worry about myself, actually, that I pay the most attention to here in terms of WOBA, ISO, K rates, etc. Good question, though. Alrighty, Ham, it's time for the kind of summary. What are you going to do? Your favorite 2 pitchers, right? Your favorite pitching pairing on DraftKings. I'm interested to hear this one. This should be a good laugh here. Your favorite kind of high owned stack or your favorite tap stack overall, and then your sneaky stack and a home run call for the people to round it out.
Yeah, Jason, it's if they're pitching on the road, it's how many Ks they have on the road for the season.
Correct. Yeah.
And so my favorite pitcher, is that what you asked me?
Yes. Your favorite 2 pitchers, right? Your favorite pitcher pairing on DraftKings, your favorite stack, your favorite sneaky stack, and then a home run call.
Okay. I'm going to go your boy, Nick Martinez. I really like Martinez tonight. You don't like him?
I didn't say nothing.
Okay. And then I'm going to pair him with – I'm going to go Meyer over Brown because I want the savings. So give me some Meyer. And then my favorite stack of the night is going to be – I mean, it's going to be the Padres, but I'm not going to give that because that's too easy. I'm going to give the Diamondbacks.
All righty. I like it. And then
Diamondbacks and sneaky stack. I'm going to go with I'm going to go with my boy, the Rays.
The Rays. All right. Interesting there. Home run call for the people.
I'm going to stick with the Rays. Batting cleanup. Your boy, my boy, B-Low, Brandon Lau, lefty, going to take Jose Quintana deep in the bottom of the first.
All right. I like it there. I'm going to Hunter Brown. I liked him. I like Max Meyer as well, but don't want to give it the same people there. So I like Hunter Brown a lot. I also like Nick Martinez, but I'll give another contrarian one. I'll say Jordan Hicks. Hunter Brown, Jordan Hicks. I like those 2 guys a lot. My favorite offense of the slate is the Yankees. I get it, the Padres, but you got to kind of throw them out, right? That's everybody's favorite stack for a good reason. We already talked about that in depth. I like the Yankees a ton, especially at their ownership that they're projected for outside of Judge and Grisham. Talked about that a lot. And then my favorite sneaky stack, you kind of pulled the D-backs from me there. So I would double down on the D-backs with you as well. But I will say I like the Brewers a lot, but they're not going to be sneaky. I'll say the Red Sox. I'll say the Red Sox against Lorenzen and your boy there. Give me some Red Sox, mainly the top half, Duran, Devers, Bregman, Campbell, Abreu. Those are guys I'm looking at there. Prefer more as a mini stack. I think you can 5-man stack them. And then my home run call of the evening here. I'm going to. I can't do Coors Field. I mean, you can't do Coors Field on the slates. Man, home run call. Who am I? I'll go to the Brewers here. I'll go to my guy hitting fifth, Rhys Hoskins, 3,700. Good value there. If you want to double down, Jake Bauers, same team. I like the 2 first basemen there. For the Brewers, you can finally play them together as well, adding the outfield eligibility to Jake Bauers there. That's going to do it for this massive 12-game slate. Think we broke it down enough and went in depth on a lot of stuff. Went over the dry run and projection run at the start of the show. So if you want to rewind, check out that. But if you're not a member already, again, shipitnation.com. Use that promo code DGen75 as you see there up on the screen. Get in the Discord. You get the golf content for next week for the major tournament. Huge contest on the DraftKings suite. 2 milli makers, top end milli maker. I think is a 4444 and a $25 milli maker next week for the major. And obviously MLB content, just smashing huge MLB season so far. Looking to keep it rolling. $24 for your first month. Check us out. That's going to do it. Appreciate everyone tuning in. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Helps us out a ton. For Ham, I'm Nades. Good luck, everybody. Have a good weekend. Happy Mother's Day to any mothers out there watching. Tell your wives Happy Mother's Day. Good luck, everybody. Peace.